What is up, my future coronavirus patients? In this video, we're going to be sending a cool plane to the planet of Eve, docking with my Corona SS coronavirus space station, and landing on the planet Eve itself. The most notable thing about the design of this plane are the forward-swept wings. They're not really any better than backwards swept wings. I just think they look cool. In real life, the reason why people don't use them is because there's a few engineering issues that are difficult to overcome. Namely, that shape of the wing creates a weird twist on the structure of the wing, and so you have to add more structure essentially to keep the wing from shearing off, which makes it heavier, which is kind of like eh. And then also they have pretty bad yaw issues, but I didn't have any problems with this craft, probably because I put the 3 tail fins on the back. The launch vehicle is pretty normal. It's not really a main point of the video, though, to be completely honest, so don't pay attention to the launching vehicle, alright? It's just there to serve its purpose. It's all about the plane. Inside the plane, there's actually also a rover, just a tiny rover. Just as a extra sort of like side note, I just thought it would be fun to drive around. Here we're just setting up the maneuver node to get ourselves over to Eve. To get to Eve, generally, I remember it being difficult. That was actually one of my first blocks that I encountered playing this game. You just gotta wait until Eve is roughly 50 degrees behind Kerbin on the solar orbital plane, which is, just the map. If it looks like it's 50 degrees behind Kerbin, then you should be good. You just place a maneuver node on the sunny side of Kerbin and just kind of like mess around with it, and eventually you'll get your encounter. Here, orbital rendezvous. It was honestly pretty simple. There's really not that much to talk about. You just drag on the retrograde maneuver whenever you have this sort of problem where you're coming in from interstellar, or not interstellar, just interplanetary space. Just drag on the retrograde node until you get yourself a proper rendezvous. And here, as you can see, it worked out well. No problems there. Except I actually crashed into the space station a tiny bit. But that's fine, it's Kerbal Space Program. All it does is just make it rotate. See there, it's fine. I kind of forgot to actually record the docking itself, but, stuff happens. Anyway, though, the next task in this mission is to load the Kerbals from the Corona SS onto the space plane itself, which is like, I think, 40, maybe 39. And yeah, as far as you know, this is the same exact plane as you just saw. In reality, I had a little bit of an issue with the decoupler between the plane and the fuel tank. There was literally just a bug, and it just didn't do its job. It just didn't decouple the fuel tanks. And so I just kind of hacked another one over. But it's not really cheating because it wasn't really my fault, and I just kind of like substituted it in, so we're good. Anyway, though, here is just the descent into Eve. It's always pretty, especially with SVE and EVE, which are the graphics mods that I use. And here, we're just kind of on like the final descent, so to speak. I guess it's not really the final descent, that's when you're landing. But yeah, those parachutes in the front, those are just there because if I don't make sure that the heat shields experience more drag when they're decoupled, they will actually shear into the plane. And then also, especially if the plane is facing down, then they'll just shear into the plane. That happened a few times. It was not pretty, so I just had to do that little thing there. Anyway, here, I just engaged the motors, and it's flying by. It's a very majestic airplane. I really don't know why planes like this aren't used more. I mean, I guess it's probably a resource thing. Or not a resource thing, but just the problems that I stated at the beginning of the video. Anyway, though, I was pretty much like, alright, I'm done flying this thing, I'm just gonna land it. The moment that I started flying it, which is kind of silly, but, you know, like, what are you gonna do? In Kerbal Space Program, it's not like you're gonna fly between cities, you know. I kind of flew it around a bit afterwards, but that's all. Oh, I have the coronavirus, I'm coughing. Here, just touchdown. Nothing really special about that. You know, you just gotta engage the brakes because it's on Eve, and Eve has a really high gravity. It's kind of one of the more annoying things about it. Here's the rover. Most things went well with the rover. It's just kind of like, it's kind of meh. It's not really designed to be that spectacular. It was kind of an afterthought. I was just like, you know what, I'll just put a rover in this thing. We'll see if that makes more views or likes or whatever. If you like the rover, like and subscribe this video. I mean my channel, not the video. And we're back. This is just a majestic cinematic zoom. I don't know. I just like doing those kinds of shots. I think they look cool. And I spent like 30 minutes getting this thing back up to the plane. It was pretty boring. I played science mode a bit here, you know, getting the volcanic rock. But then after that, it was just straight back to the plane, where it was supposed to be redocked, but yeah, clearly that did not happen. The solar panels got in the way, which was sad. Here I also have some science equipment inside of the plane itself, though I'm in sandbox mode, so it's kind of redundant. I just like to show how you could do these things in science mode. So that pretty much wraps it up for this video. Which guy is this? Theomi Kerman is just planting the flag now, to honor his god and country. And yeah, you could honor me by liking and subscribing. Thanks for watching. Peace out.